Nicole Kidman just dropped some surprising revelations about her new erotic drama, Babygirl, and let's just say, things got pretty intense on set. The 57-year-old actress, who stars alongside Harris Dickinson and Antonio Banderas, admitted that filming the steamy scenes took such a toll on her that she actually needed to take a break during production.
This is definitely leaves me exposed and vulnerable and frightened and all of those things.
In Babygirl, Nicole plays Romy, a powerful CEO who finds herself in a passionate affair with her much younger intern, played by Harris Dickinson. Antonio Banderas steps in as her husband, Jacob, and the tension between these characters really took things to another level.
There is elements of experimentation, and you can express yourself.
Nicole didn't hold back in a candid interview, sharing how the experience overwhelmed her at times. She said, "There were moments I was like, don't touch me. I don't want to do this anymore. It was intense and exhausting."
Yeah, because there's a lot of stress leading up to something like that, and you're worried and all of this.
You can really feel how much this role pushed her limits as an actor, and honestly, it sounds like it was a wild ride.
I didn't feel exploited. I felt very much a part of it. It's the story that I wanted to be a part of, that I wanted to tell, and every part of me was committed to that.
The film, which will hit US cinemas on Christmas Day, follows Romy as she risks her career and personal life for the affair. Not exactly your typical feel-good Christmas movie, huh? But hey, it'll definitely keep things interesting.
Your behavior is unacceptable.
Is it?
Nicole opened up about why she took on this challenging role, saying it gave her the chance to explore something totally new in her acting career, an opportunity she couldn't resist.
I want to examine human beings. I want to examine women on screen. I want to examine what it means to be human, and in all the facets of that and the labyrinth of that.
The trailer gives us a sneak peek at all the passion and drama that's coming our way. We've got Romy trying to balance her high-powered job, family life, and the whole mess of her affair. From the moment she first runs into Samuel on the street to the tension between her, him, and her husband Jacob, it looks like this movie's going to be an emotional ride.
Get on your knees.
No, what?
Get on your knees now.
Nicole's performance has already earned her Best Actress at the Venice Film Festival, and we can't wait to see her bring this complex character to life.
It was so beautiful to be in Venice and be received in that way. And
now you might be wondering, what does Nicole's husband, Keith Urban, think about her taking on such a bold role? Well, it turns out he's totally supportive. Keith called her decision to do Babygirl incredibly brave, telling the Sunday Project how proud he is of her bold choices.
Have you seen Nicole's new movie, Babygirl?
I haven't.
Because
no.
it's an erotic.
It's gotten great reviews,
erotic
but
thriller.
Haven't seen it yet.
Are you looking forward to watching it?
Very much.
That's the kind of support we love to see. Let's take a look at their heartwarming love story and see what makes Nicole and Keith one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. It was roughly about 4 years after Nicole's very messy and public divorce from none other than Tom Cruise that she met Keith. It was 2005, and that year, everything changed.
It's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. That man is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Nicole was immediately smitten by the country singer, and Keith was totally taken by the actress's grace and poise. Ironically enough, neither of them thought that the other person was interested. Kidman shared, "I remember thinking, I had such a crush on him, and he wasn't interested in me." Little did she know, Urban was swooning over her from the second she walked into the room. "I swear to you, she glided across the room, floated. I don't know how she did it. It was out of this world. And there was a split moment where she wasn't with anybody, and I thought, I'll just go up and say hi." Seriously, does it get any more romantic than that? Once they started talking, things really clicked. They exchanged numbers, but Keith was so convinced that Nicole wasn't interested in him that he didn't call her for 4 months.
I was like, there's no way this girl is interested in me at all. So someone had given me her number. I couldn't bring myself to call that number.
Thankfully, Keith plucked up the courage and finally made the call. Their romance was instant, and it was just a month later that Nicole knew that he was the love of her life. She described their love as intense, and that she fell hard and fast for the singer. When Kidman's 38th birthday came rolling around the following year, Urban surprised her by standing on her stoop in New York at 5 a.m., holding a bunch of gardenias. It was this moment that the actress thought, "This is the man I hope I get to marry." Even though they hadn't been dating each other for very long, it wasn't something that bothered her at all. In fact, the actress shared, "I kind of like getting married and then getting to know each other. I know that it sounds incredibly strange, but to me, it's a more natural process." The couple went on a motorcycle ride, her arms wrapped around his waist as they rode through Woodstock in New York, and ended the day with a romantic picnic. Their love practically sealed itself in fate at this moment. "I was a goner, come on," Nicole confessed, and we don't blame her. The two made things official when they tied the knot during a romantic wedding ceremony in Australia. It was an A-list celebration, with guests like Russell Crowe, Baz Luhrmann, Naomi Watts, and Hugh Jackman. Need we say more? Meeting her and getting married wasn't life-changing. It was life-beginning. It was literally like, okay, life starts. Keith shared about their wedding. Sadly, their newlywed bliss was short-lived. Just a few months after their wedding, Nicole had to stage an intervention for Keith. The singer had previously openly talked about his struggle with drugs and alcohol during the 90s. He'd also completed 2 separate stays at rehabs before. Nicole wasn't unaware of his battle with addiction, so as soon as Keith relapsed, she urged him to go in for treatment. Keith went on to spend 3 months at an inpatient facility to treat his alcohol addiction. "I was going to lose it all. It was like, if I don't choose this moment to do the right thing and do something that's going to give me life, all of the things I'm scared of losing, I'm going to lose anyway," the singer confessed. The singer went on to share that he had caused an implosion in his marriage and that it was a miracle that it survived. And when it comes to overcoming his addiction, he attributed the success in his sobriety to Nicole. She was by his side, supporting him through it all. For the first time in his life, he felt like he could shake off the shackles of his addiction. Keith explained, "She's the one that I was searching for my whole life, and everything not only changed but had to change in me if I was going to go that road." The singer also shared that he and Nicole could not have met each other at a better time. He needed her help to finally conquer his addiction, and she said right from the beginning that she wanted to be brave with him. Keith felt like there was something else at work, bringing them together, watching over them, and giving them both the strength to get through it all. When it comes to sharing their struggles and what they had to go through at the beginning of their marriage, Nicole didn't want to hide any of it. She knew the press was going to get hold of the news anyway, so she'd rather have it all out in the open and share the story herself.
Let's do it. And Keith Urban, when my cheek is against yours, everything melts away, and that is love.
I think we were 2 lonely people. I would probably say that 2 very lonely people managed to meet at a time when they could open themselves to each other. We were a mixture of frightened and brave, the actress confessed. Kidman admitted that it was a deeply painful place that prompted Urban into recovery, but since I've learned an enormous amount having a relationship with someone who is in recovery, I'm more than willing to walk it with him. The 2 of us are very committed to our relationship. The couple welcomed their first child into the world in 2008, a girl they named Sunday Rose Kidman Urban. It was their first child together, although Nicole previously adopted 2 children, Isabella Jane Cruz and Connor Cruz, with ex-husband Tom. And then, 3 years later, Nicole and Keith revealed they welcomed their second daughter, Faith Margaret Kidman Urban, saying, "Our family is truly blessed, and just so thankful to have been given the gift of baby Faith Margaret." The baby was born via surrogate, and Nicole later told Vogue she had previously struggled with infertility and wished she could have more children with Keith. She said, "I wish I could have met Keith much earlier and had way more children with him, but I didn't. If I could have had 2 more children with him, that would have been just glorious." Things had definitely taken a different turn in their marriage since Keith had overcome his addiction. The singer would play his guitar while his daughters would dance and sing along, and Nicole would watch, her heart bursting with joy and love for their family. The great thing about being married to a musician, you have music in the house all the time. There is something very joyful about having music. Keith can play pretty much any instrument. He'll just play piano at 7 in the morning. That's what we have, is breakfast around the piano and very much a part of our life. In 2014, Nicole's father passed away, and Nicole confessed that Keith was there to help her get through the loss. While he had always been a supporting husband, during her time of grief, the actress shared that Keith had very literally carried her through the incredibly tough time.
When you have your partner who just literally carries you through a tough time, Oh, and he's been amazing to me.
To have my husband to step up in that way, it makes me cry. He's amazing. I will keep him. I'll do anything for that man. The most important question of all, how do they keep their love alive, making fans swoon over their adoring photos and wish they had their very own country meets Hollywood romance? Well, despite their crazy work schedules, they've never spent more than 7 days apart from one another. It sounds impossible considering the months other couples have had to spend apart being in the entertainment industry, but too much time apart for Nicole and Keith is an absolute no-go zone. The actress explained that they stay very, very connected, Skyping and talking on the phone several times a day. She even confessed that Urban would leave her a love letter for every night he was away. If this gesture doesn't make you raise your standards of love and romance, we don't know what will. My husband and I never text each other. We never do. Once in a blue moon, we'll text. But mainly we say, I want to hear your voice. We don't email each other either. So it's about trying to keep it as intimate and personal as possible. So that's why when they do text, it's that kind of text. Yeah, you know, the steamy kind. Phone calls only, which I really love. Maybe one text. Maybe one cool kind of, you know, that kind of text. Nice. Sex texting, he offered. I'm a little red right now, Keith shared, practically red in the face. Nicole revealed that their secret to a happy marriage is to always make time for one another. She said that when she's not working, she dedicates herself to her family, adding, Keith and I are very good at immediately clicking off because we have a really good life in Nashville that's very simple, quiet, and nourishing because we've made it like that. Nicole and Keith are basically the ultimate Hollywood couple, beating all the odds. They've supported each other through all the dark times of addiction, infertility, and loss. They've been through it all, but they were never alone through any of it. Keith supported Nicole just as much as she supported him because they love each other. If there's one thing we can learn from these two, it is that sometimes love can truly conquer all.